My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zeynep, Sonmez, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Okay. I was on mute. Sonmez put that volley away. Yes, she has. She's held for 1-1. One game all. Second set. You can hear that. Mukova, another break point, by the way. Oh, I think that's going to be too much. It is. Lovely touch at the net from Karolina Bukova, and she gets the break. Once again, she is up a break on Venus Williams. She was up 2-love and had love 40 on the Venus serve. So she was very, very close to a 3-love double break lead. But Venus managed to hold serve and then break. And then threaten a break on the Mukova serve. She had a break point. It's been a real nip and tuck first set, but it is Mukova now who has the break advantage once more. Meanwhile, Zeynep Sonmez looks like she's enjoying things out there on court number 13. She won the first set by 6-3. 1-1 in the second, but it is love 15 right now on the Volynets serve. Look at this touch at the net, by the way, from Mukova. Look at that. Look at that. You cannot teach that. That's nice as well from Sonmez. Lovely touch there. Mukova-esque, arguably. Love 30. Stearns has consolidated her break, so she's looking in a very commanding position. 7-5, 3-love. She leads over on court number 11. Meanwhile, the men, Jamur and Diallo, still on serve. Diallo actually serving at 5-6 to stay in the first set. And Casper Ruud has got a break on Offner in the second set. So he leads by a set and a break. Hachinov is serving for the third set against Basavaredi. And Rublev has got a break in the third. So he's looking in a very, very favorable position. He's up 2-0 and he leads by an early break in the third. Is that Volynets on the deck? Yes, it is. And she's got 2 break points that she's going to have to save here, is the American. So 15-40. Zeynep Sonmez here, really trying to tighten her grip on this match. Good serve down the tee there from Volynets, but she's missed the forehand. And Sonmez breaks. So she leads 6-3, 2-1. Well, well, well. That's a lead. Casper Ruud has a game point for 6-1, 3-1 over Offner. Svitolina trying to get that break back. Her US Open hopes are hanging by a thread right now. Mukova comes into the net. I think she's going to win this point with a smash. She is. It was a difficult one on the stretch, but Mukova is one of the most athletic players on the tour, albeit a little bit injury prone. 4-3, 40-15 anyway. Second serve here for Williams to look at, but it is 2 game points for Karolina Muchova. Bondar has held. So it's now 6-2-3-1 against Svitolina. Upset alert. Muchova down the tee. Backhand return from Williams goes into the net, and Muchova holds for 5-3. Zeynep Sonmez looks like she means business here. She's going to need to, if she's going to get back in this match. It is love 15 on the Sonmez serve. Neither player looking super comfortable on serve. We have seen quite a few breaks. I think we've seen 3-4 breaks of serve now in this match. And we've seen a few other break points come and go for both players as well. So even though there's a set and a break advantage, it doesn't quite feel done by any stretch of the imagination. But what does feel almost done is Stearns into the second round. She has a break point for a 4-love lead in the second set. Love 30 here on the Volynets serve. Venus Williams serving to stay in the first set at 3-5. Stearns never got this close to winning the first set in Washington over Venus. And it's a double fault from Venus to begin the game. Love 15. And it's going to be a second serve here for Muchova to look at to potentially go up love 30. Some anxious looks from Americans in the crowd. They're right to be concerned. Meanwhile, this point feels huge. You got love 40. Oh, big forehand there from Sonmez, forcing the error. I mean, it was almost an outright winner. 15-30. Meanwhile, Williams 15 all against Muchova, despite the second serve. Good serve there from Williams. Two points in a row for Zeynep, so 30 all. Good serve there from Venus. Now it's Venus on the slice, and Karolina getting a taste of her own medicine there. Can't deal with the slice. 40-15 Venus Williams, so she's asking questions of Karolina right now. Meanwhile, Sonmez, forehand there. Sonmez again on the forehand, which has done a lot of damage today. Oh, but what a backhand that is from Volynets. And she's going to get a break point, 30-40. Well, well, well. Double fault there from Venus, maybe? Yep, double fault, 40-30. Backhand return here from Volynets. Forehand cross court from Sonmez. Forehand to forehand right now. Volynets going down the line, changing direction. That's a slice from Volynets. Backhand from Sonmez. Forehand from Volynets. Decent depth here from Katie. Got to probably avoid that forehand. Good depth again from Katie, but he's on the forehand of Zeynep there. But now it's on the forehand of each player. Change of direction. Doesn't work from Sonmez. And Volynets has broken back. Game on. And huge news over on Grandstand. Bondar has a double break advantage now on Svitolina. So Svitolina, her US Open hopes are hanging by the thinnest of threads. She is down 6-2, 4-1. And when they return to the court over on Grandstand, Bondar has a double break advantage at 4-1. We are back on serve here between Volynets and Sonmez, by the way. And it's Volynets who's pushing the shot clock right now. Meanwhile, on Ash, Venus Williams has a game point once more for 4-5. Do hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Venus first serve into the net. Good serve there from Volynets, meaning 30 love for her. Second serve here for Mukova. To look at. Good return into the rally. And it's Venus on the back foot there. And she puts the forehand into the net. Deuce. Volley net smash. It's going to help her win the point. 40 love. 3 game points now for volley nets. Having trailed an early break, she's now on serve and potentially leading 3-2. Meanwhile, we have a set point on Alpha Ash. Some good ball striking here from both players, by the way, Mukova and Volynets, and Volynets has missed the backhand. Anyway, set point, Karolina Mukova. Let's see how this point pans out. Venus Williams goes down the tee. Wonderful serve from Venus. Not much Karolina Mukova could do about that. And we're back to deuce. Bondar with 3 game points for a 5-1 lead, meaning she'll be 1 game away from knocking out the number 12 seed, Elina Svitolina. Serve down the tee, misses from Volynets. Good forehand there from Mukova. She's going to have another set point. Volynets holds for 3-2. Mukova set point number 2. 47 minutes on the clock on Ash. I did suggest that this match will be comfortably finishing before Volynets and Sonmez, but we'll see. Probably need Sonmez and Mukova. Sorry, Sonmez and Volynets to go the distance, but we'll see. Anyway, 3-5. Venus Williams doubles. And Karolina Mukova wins the first set by 6 games to 3. It has been a competitive set that saw Mukova go up an early break, then get love 40 on the Venus serve, but not get the double break advantage that seems set to be hers. Venus holds, then breaks. Then Venus has a break point to go up a break. But that was when Mukova was like, okay, I sense danger here. And then she put on the afterburners. Managed to hold, then break, then hold, and then break again. Okay, so meanwhile on court 13, Sonmez is going to return to the court. She's seen her break advantage come and go. By the way, Stearns has a match point against Semenestaya. Nice, indeed it would, Jay. It would open things up for Anisimova with Svitolina going out. But there's another player as well, I think, in that quarter that I think is an even bigger danger. Is it Mira Andreeva, maybe? Or that might be a quarterfinal opponent for Anisimova. Sonmez is going to miss the backhand. And are we seeing a momentum change here in the direction of Volynets? Quite possibly. Stearns is through. 7-5, 6 love. She seals victory in the end pretty comfortably in straight sets over Semenestaya. Got to 5-all, and then Stearns went, you know what? I'm going to win 8 games in a row. Because that's just what you do, right? You just go, you know what, I'm going to win 8 games in a row, and just make that decision. Seeing the New York skyline there. I feel as though there is a momentum shift here on court 13, by the way. Love 30 now on the Sonmez serve. And Svitolina is 2 points away from defeat on grandstand. What a crushing low blow this would be. Oh, that's soon updated. Svitolina's held serve. It still would be pretty crushing, though, to lose 2-2 to Bondar. Oh, Sonmez came into the net then. I thought Volynets was going to pass. But no, 15-30. So, Bondar serving for the match against Svitolina. Stearns, Frech, and Jacquemont all through in straight sets. Meanwhile, having a quick look at some men's scores, Rublev is up 2 sets to love and a break in the third. So things looking very good for him. Diallo has 2 set points in a first set tiebreak on Jamur, and he seals it. 7-4. He wins that tiebreak, and now things are looking pretty good for Diallo and my bracket because I have Diallo going through. By the way, Mukova now serving at the beginning of this set. Oh, that's big moments for Sonmez. Having been down love 30 in this game, she now leads 40-30. Oh, love 40 on the Mukova serve. So could have an early break here for Venus Williams. Can't quite imagine Venus doing this in 3 sets, but you never know. And there's a clenched fist from Zeynep Sonmez. That's a big hold for the Turk. 3-all. Love 30 down. Oh, that volley from Venus Williams. Oh, my goodness me. How did she miss that volley? Ghosty, I think you'd have put that volley away. Set point, by the way, for Casper Ruud to go up 2 sets to love on the Austrian Sebastian Offner. These 4 matches, by the way, Diallo, Jamur, Ruud, Offner, Khachanov Basavaredi, and Rublev Prismic all look like they're going to go the way of my bracket suggestions because I went for Diallo, Ruud, Khachanov, and Rublev. And they are all in very good positions. And Casper has just made his position look even better. He is now 2 sets to love up on Offner. I also have Mukova beating Williams. And she's up a set. And she's just saved 2 of the 3 break points. But she's got a third one. Good serve down the tee there for Mukova. That was Venus Williams-esque, that serve. 3 points in a row for the Czech. And it is deuce. Yeah, drenched in capitalism, Ghosty, of course, as you can imagine. Just seeing your white skirt comment. Volynets here with 3 game points. Some really good depth here from KT on some of these shots. Where's Nerland, by the way? He's a huge Volynets fan. 40-15. Although he'd probably be divided here because I think, obviously, I think he lives in Turkey. He might be Turkish as well. And therefore, probably, I think he'd be divided. In fact, I think he might even go for his compatriot. Venus Williams has another break point on Mukova. Break point number 4 in this game. She had love 40, then it got to deuce, and now it's advantage Williams. Good backhand there from Sonmez. Oh, lovely forehand there from Sonmez. That has done a lot of damage so far today. Plum on the line. Mukova, can she save another break point? Let's see. Seen a few missed throws today from the Czech. I think it's going to be a second serve as well. It is. Backhand return from Venus is good. Nice backhand there, though, from wonderful depth there from Venus. Now it's going to be a slice that's going to land in. What a rally this is turning into be. Forehand now from Mukova goes into the net. And Venus Williams gets the early break. 1-love, she leads. Not done yet. But Sonmez is in that game. So Volynets holds in the end. 40-love to 40-30, but eventually gets over the line for 4-3. So over to you, Zeynep. 3-4. Venus and Mukova will change ends. And Venus will serve to see if she can consolidate her break. Yeah, Bath is pretty. Bit posh, but pretty. Bit like you, Ghosty. Bit posh, but pretty. Allegedly, so I've heard on the grapevine. How many likes are we at? Have we got to 20 likes yet on this video? No comment, Ghosty. That's a huge asterisk, I think. Okay, Williams to serve here at 1-love. Forehand return from Karolina Mukova. That's good. She comes into the net, and that's just going to miss from Venus, I think. That lofted ball that flew over Karolina's head and was very close to landing in, but ultimately just out. Love 15. Time, says the umpire, and it's time for Sonmez to serve with new balls. Good return there from Volynets. It's an unforced error from Sonmez, but it was a good return from Katie. So love 15. Oh, Svitolina's got one of the breaks back on Bondar. How about that? Nice volley there from Mukova at the net. So she's love 30 now on the Venus serve. Well, well, well. Bondar was up 5-1 in this set. Couldn't serve it out at the first time of asking, and she's probably going to have to try again because it doesn't look like she's going to break Svitolina's serve. No. Change of ends over on grandstand and pressure on Bondar. Nice volley at the net there from Sonmez for 30-15. Meanwhile, Williams has won a point for 15-30. Ooh, it was a soft second serve from Sonmez. It wasn't even cleanly hit, that serve, I don't think. And Volynets had a really good look at that, but dumps the forehand return to the net. So 2 game points now for Zeynep Sonmez. And I'm probably going to get this Svitolina match up on my phone. Sonmez holds. Okay. Okay, looks like my phone isn't going to play ball. Ooh, Volynets love 15. Let's see if Bondar Svitolina appears on my phone. Maybe I can't watch on my phone. Oh, Williams consolidated. Wow, 2 love. Ooh, Volynets has gone long. Clenched fist from Sonmez. Love 30. Oh, my goodness me. I'm going to have to get this Bondar match up somehow. I mean, she's 2 points away from winning it, by the way. Can I get this up very quickly? That's what she said. Somewhere, somehow. Yeah, it looks like I can only do 2 streams at the same time. That's what it is. Anyway, 30-15. So I'm watching that scoreboard, basically, to see how that goes. Williams, by the way, is threatening a double break on Mukova. She's 15-30. 2 match points for Bondar in what will be one of the biggest shocks. I would probably still say Madison Keys' departure probably eclipses that in terms of shocks. That happened earlier on today in 3 sets. 2 match points for Bondar. I'm just watching the scoreboard. I have no idea how this match panned out or any of these crucial points are panning out. But I'm watching to see if that ticks over to 6-2, 6-4 or whether it goes 40-30. It does tick over to 6-2, 6-4. And the number 12 seed, Alina Svitolina, crashes out at the US Open at the first hurdle. Bondar is through. She joins Jacquemont and Frech and Stearns in the second round. And Alina Svitolina, her US Open campaign is over for another year. The David Brent version, yeah, of that song, yeah. Did you watch the episode or just see the song? Mukova, by the way, from 15-30 has now got to 40-30 in a game point. And we've got 2 break points for Zeynep Sonmez. This is huge because if Sonmez breaks, she will come back to the court at the change of ends and serve for the match. And it's going to be a second serve as well. Mukova holds with a forehand winner. So 2-1. What a return from Zeynep Sonmez! That was a return, says, I want to be in that second round. And she leads 5-4 in the second set. And when they return, she will serve for the match and a place in the second round. Well, well, well. Let's have a look at seeing some of the men's matches are going. Khachanov is a breakup in the 4th, and he actually has a break point for a double break advantage. Rublev has beaten Prismic, by the way, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 over on court number 5. So Rublev is through to the round of 64. And Khachanov Having lost the first set to Basavaredi, he now leads 2-1 and has a double break advantage in the fourth. So he has 1 foot in the next round. Casper Ruud, by the way, leads 2-0 over Offner, but they are on serve in the third set. Diallo won the first set over Jamur, and they are on serve in the second. So, what is going on in the matches that we are watching? Boisson plays Golubic tomorrow. I would back Golubic in that one. Boisson on a hard court, I don't think is anywhere near as dangerous as on clay. Meanwhile, Sonmez here serving for the match against Volynets. She's faulted on the first serve. Second serve lands in. How is your nerve, Zeynep? I mean, Volynets is not going to give this away easily. She's going to make you play every point. I just feel as though this first point is pretty big. And it's going to be a forehand winner. Look at that from Zeynep Sonmez. Take a bow. 15-love. Venus Williams at the net. She puts the smash away. Leads 15-love. Sonmez is on court 13. 3 points away from victory. Not a great day for friends of the show in terms of the fact that Jaime Faria lost in 4 sets to Munar earlier. Good return there from Volynets. But she's missed the forehand. That's a gift. I said she wouldn't be giving too many gifts away. Well, there's one. 30-love. There'll be a few screeches from the Turkish fans in the crowd for sure if she gets over the line here, Zeynep. Net first serve. Still a first serve. Meanwhile, Williams leading 2-1, 30-15 over on Ash. Forehand return from Mukova, now into the rally. Good forehand there, though, from Venus. Really good depth, but that's gone too long. 30-all. Zeynep Sonmez goes long with the backhand. Volynets still believes. Please, everyone, hit the like button. How many likes are we on, by the way? Have we got to 20 yet? Good serve there from Venus, 40-30. Backhand return, backhand to backhand now here between Sonmez and Volynets. And Volynets goes long, much to the relief of Sonmez. So, Zeynep Sonmez has 2 match points, 5-4, 40-15. Mukova misses, by the way, and Venus Williams has held for 3-1. So, 2 match points for Sonmez. Where are you going with this serve? You're going out wide. You're going to come into the net. You should put this away. You don't need to because it doesn't over net. And the arms are aloft. The ball gets tapped. Some Turkish fans in the crowd lift their arms aloft as well. Applaud Zeynep, who has won a match at the US Open, I believe for the first time in her career. Friend of the show, Zeynep Sonmez, is through. She's happy. She's walking rather, or jogging rather gingerly to her team. Of course, Mert Atunga, by the way, more than friend of the show, regular on the show. He is the former coach of Zeynep. So she's through to the round of 64. She joins Peyton Stearns, Magdalena Frech, Jacquemont as well, also in the next round, and Bondar, who in one of the shocks of the day knocked out Svitolina earlier on, 6-2, 6-4 over on the grandstand court. Ghosty here saying he's very happy for Sonmez. Yeah, and you predicted Sonmez to win, albeit in 3 sets, but still, a win is a win. What do we think of Medvedev last night? Yeah, maybe crossed a line, maybe. I do think the outrage, though, is a little bit too much. I can understand why he was annoyed to lose that, or to get his opponent get a second serve back on such a huge point. I can see how it was annoying for him. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Maybe crossed. Yeah, okay, listen. Even if he did cross a line and he was in the wrong, I can understand his frustration. You know, I think I've seen players do things in the wrong, pretty much everyone on tour. Do you sometimes understand why they did something wrong? Yes. Was it really sort of, you know, might not take you very long to find out, but I saw one influencer on social media. She was like, this is disgusting. One of the worst things she'd ever seen in tennis. You can find that maybe on X. Oh, Ghosty, the photographer. I have huge sympathy. Yeah. He got ejected from the stadium and has had his credentials revoked. I have huge sympathy for him. He also made a mistake. It was a small mistake at a crucial moment. But listen, if Bonzi hits an ace and wins the match in straight sets, he doesn't get ejected. He can't get ejected because the match is over. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't lose his credentials. It was only because Bonzi didn't close that out, lost that set, and the match evolves, that then they have time to come down with the iron fist. Yeah. It was a silly mistake. It did have a huge influence on the match, but ultimately Bonzi won. Way over the top, says Jay. I could not agree more. I feel very, very sorry for him. I mean, he certainly can't work at the US Open anymore unless we get some sort of ceremony with Bonzi, like we see with players, you know, hitting ball kids and stuff, and then they do some sort of ceremony and then they're back and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the embarrassment is enough for sure. That's enough. It's unfortunately another example of the authoritarian way that those that run tennis love to wield the axe. We have been a victim of that pretty much on a permanent basis. It's how authoritarian regimes work. It is so clear. And yeah, it's how it is. Made a mistake, but that's it. Should be end of the story. Yeah, I have huge amounts of sympathy for him. I mean, you could see how upset he was by it in a way. Yeah. But I agree. I 100% agree you goes to. I hope they rethink their decision with the photographer. If they don't, it's because they are not reasonable people. But let's not forget, they've already made an unreasonable choice. So, yeah. So, yeah. There we go. But as for, Daniel Medvedev, I think, it just seemed a bit over the top to suggest how disgusted everybody was with that. By the way, I don't know how Maria Sakkari and Tatiana Maria did today, so I'm going to check. I'm going to guess that Sakkari won, probably in straight sets. Yes, she did. 3-2. There you go. And she's going to be playing Bondar in the next round. Okay, let's get back to the present and the tennis that is occurring right now. What shall I put on my screen? Shall I put on a match that is happening? What's happening on Louis Armstrong? About to find out. Oh, it's Casper Ruud against Offner. Not exactly the most dramatic of matches, with Casper up 2-0. Jamur and Diallo, by the way, are on serve in the second set. And Khachanov has won in 4 sets over Basavaredi, joining Andrei Rublev in the next round. Williams, by the way, leading 4-2 here in the second set. So we might well be going to a third set over on Ash. Pretty much the opposite in terms of how I thought. Sonmez against Volynets, I thought that's going 3. And I thought Mukova will probably get this done in straights. And I think that's why I posited at the beginning of both streams that probably Mukova-Williams will be done first. And then we'd switch our attention to the remainder of Sonmez against Volynets. But how wrong was I? Completely wrong, basically. And yet Mukova might, with backhands like that down the line, might still get this done in straights. But is she struggling a bit physically? I always worry with Karolina because she's not exactly the most sturdy of players on tour. A little frail is Karolina. Look at that backhand. So sweet. Sweet as a nut. Do you say sweet as a nut in the US? Somebody in the chat, particularly Ghosty. He is indeed a quiet killer. Pretty reliable, I would suggest. Slams in particular made the final in Halle, and that's about it. Ooh, 15-30 here on the Mukova serve. Right now, all those scores on the screen you see are done. Thank you, Semil. By the way, he was joining for the Semil was joining for the Zeynep Sonmez match. I'm sure Semil, it looks like, given the name and some of the words I see in the chat, suggesting Semil is Turkish. So I'm sure Semil is very happy. Mukova 30 all. It felt like a big point. Okay. I mean, he had several outbursts at the US Open in the past, but I think those other ones were funny and fine. Sweet as a nut, Ghosty. Nut, not as a knot, as a nut. But there aren't many nuts that are that sweet, really. I might have another cup of tea. The next change of ends. Will that change of ends be at 4-3 or 5-2? Wow, good defense there from Venus. It's going to be a net cord. And Venus is on top here. Is that going to land in? Is that going to land in? No, it is not. And we're going to have a break points. We're going to have a break point for Venus Williams, ladies and gentlemen, for a 5-2 lead and a firm grip on this second set. You'd think Sakkari would fancy her chances of getting to the third round, which for Maria at a Grand Slam in the last couple of years would be notable. Mind you, if Bondar, pulls off feats like she did today. Some results. Boyer beat Duckworth. Myshak beat Delian. Struff beat McDonald. And Venus breaks for 5-2. Look at that guy in the crowd going nuts, by the way. Brooksby beat Vukic in 5 sets. Runa beat Botic van der Zandschulp in straight sets. So a bad couple of days for Botic, who once again was unable to win his first ATP title in Winston-Salem, getting to the final before losing to Fucsovics. Tiafoe won in straight sets over Nishioka. Munar beat friend of the show, Jaime Faria, in 4 sets. Bellucci got a walkover over Shang. Oh dear. Fitness issues once again for Shang. Collignon beat Galan in straight sets. Fonseca beat Kecmanovic in straight sets. Draper beat Gomez in 4 sets. Comisania knocking out Mickelson in 4 sets. That's good news for Novak Djokovic, by the way, because Mickelson in the 3rd round was lying in wait. That's a surprise for me. Dam beating Blanche in straight sets. That's not a surprise. Wong beating Kovacevic in straight sets. Friend of the show, Lloyd Harris, winning in straight sets over Baez. Zizou Bergs winning in straight sets over Tseng. Oh, Nori gets the walkover quarter. I didn't know that. Oh, Sebi Korda just can't stay fit. Wow, a very good day for Novak Djokovic, and he hasn't even taken to the court because Nori and Mickelson were potential 3rd round opponents for Novak. They are both out. And I can tell you now, whoever wins between Cam Nori and Comisania is not beating Novak Djokovic in round 3. Meanwhile, Venus Williams is serving for a set of tennis at the US Open once again to force a 3rd set against Karolina Muchova. Yeah, Kaboli winning. Says 4 on my screen, by the way. Oh, no, I'm looking at Comisania, sorry. Comisania, fellow Argentinian, beating Mickelson in 4. And yeah, Kaboli won in 5. Oh, sorry, that's a match that I missed. Yeah, sorry, Kaboli winning in 5 sets over Posado. I expected Kaboli to win that one, probably a little bit more comfortably, actually. Okay, Venus Williams, the serve here. Good return there from Muchova. And is that forehand landed in? I think it has. So it's a forehand winner there. Oh, no, it must have landed just out. My bad. 15 love, Venus Williams. Well, well, well. That's better from Muchova. 15 all. Venus not looking happy there. It's like, how dare she hit a shot like that against me? A couple of guys there in the crowd, I see, just looking very happy with their Aperol Spritz. Okay. Really? Skin creams? I mean, that's a bit tone deaf in a way. What a forehand winner from Venus Williams, 30-15. She's 2 points away from winning this set and forcing a decider. And that guy in the crowd is going nuts. The end of this set, I'm going to make a cup of tea. Double fault from Venus Williams, 30 all. I don't know, but is that her partner? The one with the beard and the sort of hair back like that? 8 double faults from Venus today. Just the one from Karolina Muchova. Good serve into the body there from Venus. Backhand Venus into the backhand of Karolina Muchova. That's big from Karolina. And it's going to be a break point, 30-40. Yeah, the bearded one. Could be his fiance. It could be her fiance, yeah. How many likes are we at? I keep asking you guys. I know I could check myself, but, you know, why check when I've got you guys in the chat to tell me? I hope we're at 20. Big serve there from Venus. Deuce. Oh, he's Italian, is he? Venus Williams to serve. Forehand return is going to go long, and we're going to have a set point for Venus Williams. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna have a cup of tea or not. I can't decide. I sort of fancy one, but I don't know. Jay believes so. He's starting to sound uncertain now. Okay, Venus Williams here, set point. Where are you going with this serve? You're going to toss it and then just catch it again and then drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Forehand return is huge from Mukova, and she saves the set point. Deuce. Offness hanging in there in the third set against Ruud. 5-4 he leads. Forehand return goes into the net for Mukova. She'll be disappointed with that return. It's going to be another set point for Venus Williams. Backhand return. Forehand from Venus is going into the net. And that was a potential winner there. She smiles ruefully because that was there for her. That was there for the taking. Mukova was a sitting duck, even if she was on the baseline. You get that over the net and the set is done. Instead, it's deuce. Backhand return. Forehand here from Venus is pretty good. Too good. Another set point for Venus Williams. Maria Sharapova there in the crowd. Recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. Tennis Hall of Fame, that is. Not Premier League Hall of Fame or any other Hall of Fame. When is Venus going to get her ball toss right, by the way? Good serve down the tee. Really good return, though, to be fair, from Mukova. She's staying in this rally. But she's hit the backhand long. And Venus gets over the line. We are going 3 on Ash. Well, ladies and gentlemen. And Mukova's going off for a break. Wow, that's quite a sect, Ghosty. Okay, so Casper Ruud is serving to stay in this third set. He does have obviously a 2 sets to love cushion, and he is up 30-15 as well. Yeah, let's go back over to the men's side of things to see what's going down. Is this the last match? No, you've got Alcaraz still to come, of course. And, oh no, that's tomorrow, Fucsovics, Shapovalov. Alcaraz, Opelka. And of course, we've got, Jamur is up a break on Diallo in the second set. In fact, Jamur is serving for the second set to make it 1 set all against Diallo. A lovely forehand winner there from Casper for 40-15. So 2 game points for 5 all. And Opelka and Alcaraz are going to have to wait a little bit longer because Venus Williams has other ideas rather than just roll over to Karolina Muchova. Did we expect anything less? Well, yeah. Stats from set 2 in this Williams-Muchova encounter. Venus getting 76% of her first serves in. That's really helpful because she's winning 73% of them. Muchova had 1 breakpoint opportunity, couldn't take it. Venus had 5 and took 2 of those. Just 5 unforced errors from that set from Venus as well. That's pretty healthy. Yeah, so first serve is doing the damage for Venus, and of course a healthy 5 unforced errors. Just 5 unforced errors from Venus, 9 from Muchova. And given how aggressive Venus does tend to be, I would suggest that 5 unforced errors is not bad. Maybe that doesn't include double faults, though, because she hit a few of those in that second set. Jamur serving for the second set, but he is love 15 down on his serve. What's going on in the women's singles? Are we done for the day? I think we might be, apart from this match. Yeah, Zarazua beating Keys. I did not see that coming in a million years. There we go. Oh, Pavlyuchenkova beats Yastremska. I think I just went for Yastremska in that one, but it's not a huge surprise seeing Pavlyuchenkova win that. She's won plenty of matches at the US Open in the past. Not sure if it was last year or the year before. I think she was in maybe the 4th round. I think she might have lost to Svitolina. Could have been the 3rd round. Putin-Sava beating Cocciaretto in straight sets. Cocciaretto, I think, she had a decent run at Wimbledon, didn't she, this year? Beat Pegula, maybe? Hon beating Jean in straight sets. Oh, Kvitova. I knew that Kvitova lost. I didn't know it was 6-1, 6-love against Diane Parry. Mertens winning also 6-1, 6-love against the American Arn. Townsend through in straight sets. Jovic through in straight sets. Rybakina through in straight sets. Kalinskaya through, but in 3 sets. Buxa through in straight sets, setting up a second round clash with Alex Ayala. We've got a preview video out for that particular encounter, so do check that out. Maria Sakkari beating Tatiana Maria in straight sets. Rakimova ending the Grand Slam career of Caroline Garcia. I don't think Garcia has confirmed her last event. Might be surprised that she didn't call it quits at the French, either this year or next, but Offner holds for 6-5 against Casper Ruud with a smash. Muchova is back on court. Ghosty saying he loved Vancouver. I'm guessing there's a reason for that. It's not just semi-random. And Muchova and Williams, by the way, are well underway. It's 30-15 here on the Muchova serve. I think Offner has the same racket as me, by the way. Babolat. Not just Babolat, but also the same brand. I think it's called a Babolat Strike, I think. Still don't know how many likes we're at, by the way, on YouTube. I'm hoping 20. But I'm probably going to get a very disappointed, 17. 2 game points here for Muchova. And she holds. That's important. Stem that tide. Sorry, just finding that amusing, Ghosty. I'm going to refrain from having a cup of tea because probably won't do me any good in terms of trying to sleep. Futrovic Shapovalov, that's an intriguing one. Up early tomorrow on court 17. Any other matches of particular interest tomorrow? Bublik Cilic. It's intriguing. Tsitsipas. Oh, I wonder if Monfils, could go out to Safiullin, and that'll be their trip done. I say there, with obviously Svitolina losing today. I think Medjedovic will beat Altmaier. De Minaur should win the All-Australian affair against O'Connell. What else is tomorrow? Muller, Tommy Paul, Zverev, Tabilo. Not a huge amount of ones on the men's side that really grip me tomorrow. What about on the women's? Susan Lehman's friend of the show. Bolter Kostyuk. Arango Swiatek. Galfi Noskova. That's an interesting one. A couple of aggressive players. I think Noskova wins, but maybe in 3 sets. I like Galfi's game. Tristea Sierra is tomorrow, and I think the winner of that plays the winner of Venus Williams against Mukova. By the way, Venus Williams has just hit another double fault. So it's love 30 on the Venus serve here. Good forehand there, though, from Venus. And it's going to force the error, so 15-30. Casper Ruud, by the way, has forced the tie-break with Offner over on Louis Armstrong. So we'll see how this tie-break pans out. I've got that on my screen here, and I've got Williams against Mukova on another screen. Good defense there for Mukova. But she's gone too big on that forehand, and it's 30 all. Could do with maybe lengthening some of these points, Carolina, I would have thought. Yeah. Don't know if there's maybe too many matches tomorrow that really grip me. Min and Osaka, maybe? Tomjanovic, Goff. 2 of the 1 o'clocks there. I say 1 o'clock in Germany. That'll be 5 p.m. your time. Oh, is that another double fault from Williams? I think it is. And she looks very annoyed with herself there. I think is that her 10th double fault of the day? So it's going to be a break point for Karolina Mukova. Backhand return here from Mukova into the rally. Forehand Mukova's huge. It's a winner. And Karolina Mukova has the early break in the deciding set. She breathes a sigh of relief as well. 2-love she leads. Casper Ruud Offner. 3rd set tiebreak, 1-all. Backhand return is huge from Offner, but it's not winning the point outright. Now it's another backhand for Offner. Forehand Casper, though, goes into the net. Uncharacteristic forehand error there from Casper. So, 2-1, mini break advantage for the Austrian. No doubt where the advantage is right now on Arthur Ashe, it's with Karolina Mukova. Too many double faults from Venus. But maybe you could argue it's the aggressive second serve that has given her a fighting chance in this match. Look at that top spin from Casper, but he's gone too big on that forehand. And it's going to be 3-1 to Offner. Mukova seeking to consolidate, leads 2-love, 15-love. What a shot indeed, Ghosty. Jake has risen. Jake, I don't know if you've been watching the tennis, but we've had a few shocks today. Svitolina and Madison Keys are out. Mickelson is out. That for me is a shock. Probably less shocking is that Sebi Korda retired injured. 2 sets down to Cam Noy when that happened. Mukova 3-game points for a 3-love lead. Meanwhile, Ruud has got that mini break back on Offner, and it's 3-all at the exchange of ends over on Louis Armstrong. Maria Sakkari winning in straight sets over Tatiana Maria. Buxa beating Liu to set up a clash with Iala. Okay, Casper Ruud, 3-all. Just a 7-point tiebreak, remember, of course. It's not a deciding set tiebreak, which obviously would be 10. Forehand return from Offner's too big. And from 3-1 down, Casper Ruud, he's now leading 4-3. 3 points away from victory. Backhand from Offner, comes into the net, has to put the volley away, doesn't put it away cleanly, but puts that one away, I think. Yes, good net coverage there from Sebastian Offner. Slice here from Casper. That's a good slice from Casper. Good depth there as well from the Norwegian. Feels like a big point this at 4-all, and it goes the way of Ruud. 5-4, the Norwegian leads in this tiebreak, and he has 2 serves for a place in the second round. 14-shot rally, that. I think so too, Ghosty. I think so too, in terms of Venus's day being almost over. I mean, she holds here maybe, but yeah. No guarantees. I mean, that ball toss, by the way. How many times have we seen that today? Yeah, Peyton Stearns won in straight sets. Good depth there from Casper Ruud. Offner still fighting. Offner still fighting. Offner still fighting. And Casper's missed the forehand, so it's 5-all. What a serve that was from Venus out wide, by the way. What defense from Karolina Muchova until she puts that backhand into the crowd. Not intentionally, I have to say. Good serve down the tee there from Casper. 6-5. And he has a match point, albeit it's on the Offner serve. Venus doesn't look amused. Offner here anyway, serving at 5-6. Oh, what a forehand that is from Venus, by the way. 30 love. What about that? Okay, match point here, Casper. Forehand. into the forehand of Offner. Run around forehand for Casper. Goes down the line. And Offner's going to go long with that forehand. Ruud delighted to get this done in straight sets. He progresses once again in New York. I thought he looked pretty good last week in the doubles, by the way, in the mixed doubles. And I thought, yeah, I'm not here saying he's going to be going super deep in New York. But I was like, yep, that's given me enough confidence that he's going to win a couple of matches. I think I have him in the third round, maybe, in New York. 3 game points here for Venus, by the way, at 40 love. And Venus holds 3-1. Not quite done yet. Not quite. Is anyone ever going to tell me how many likes we're on, by the way? I'm not sure, Jake, if I said that, because I don't recall saying it, and I certainly don't recall saying it to you. But I can give you my opinion on Mainu, which is that I think that United fans would, as happens so often in the last decade or so, have been so desperate for something to clutch at that they do get carried away. You know, Xerxes scores on his debut and he's going to be the new Ruud van Nistelrooy just because he comes from the Netherlands and scuffed a shot against Fulham. Van der Beek scores on his debut in a loss at home, I think I'm going to say to Crystal Palace. And he's the new Messiah and should start every match, even though he was crap. Oh, I see, Ghosty. I'm sorry. I saw you write 10 earlier. Maybe I just thought we have to be on more than 10 likes that I just didn't quite get it. I'm sorry. Now I see it. It is 6 minutes past 3 here. 800 likes, says Jay. Yeah, in our dreams. Oh, a backhand slice there from Venus goes into the net, and it's 30 love, Karolina Muchova. Yeah, sure, Ghosty. Yeah, your likes are worth 300. Okay, so Muchova leads 30 love. Casper Ruud is through. Spinal Tap are doing another movie. I mean, are the original cast all still alive? We've got 10 people watching right now. Some of you have not hit the like button. And by the way, statistically, some of you have not subscribed as well. Oh, I better get my charger for the Muchova one. Charge just in the nick of time. Oh, 30 all. Okay, 30 all. We'll cover down the tee. That's a great serve into the backhand of Venus. She's cursing herself there. But, yeah. 40-30 Muchova here. Game point for 4-1. Is it just too... how many matches are in pro? Oh, we've got Diallo, haven't we, in progress as well? Let's maybe get him up on the screen. Where are you, Diallo? Diallo Jamur, there you go. So I think it might just be 2 matches happening right now. Diallo Jamur, and Jamur won the second set, by the way, and is a breakup in the third on the Canadian. So that's a hell of a turnaround, having lost that first set on a tie break. I remember seeing Jamur have a bit of a meltdown in Bonn last year, and I thought, oh, well, I guess that's a guy who's on the slide, and that's that. Well, he's winning matches at Grand Slams. I think did he win 1 or 2 in the French Open this year? I think he played Alcaraz in the French Open, didn't he? Maybe. I think he lost in straights to Alcaraz at Roland Garros, but yeah, he beat Tirante. It was a decent win in the first round in 4 sets. Then beat some Petsi Pericard. Oh, he took a set off Alcaraz as well. Wow. Alcaraz is such a generous guy, isn't he? He loves giving sets away. Mukova's held for 4-1, by the way. Yeah. Oh, Venus is taking a break, is she? Of some sort. I don't really hear rival fans talk about him that much, Jake, to be honest. I just think, yeah, he's probably slightly overrated by the United fan base. Let's say the United fan base jumped the gun on him anyway, in terms of he's going to be the next Zidane 1 minute, or he's going to be the next Makelele the next. I mean, 2 obviously very different players, but I'm not even kidding. I've heard him compared to both. Amorim clearly doesn't rate him anyway. But do we rate Amorim is another question. Wow. I've got my doubts. Let's say that. All right, let's have a quick look as well. I think, well, actually, I don't really need to have a quick look because I think I've got Diallo and Jamur on one screen. And I've got Venus and Mukova on the other. And I think that's the only 2 matches that are happening right now. Let me know in the live chat if I'm crazy. And say, John, you're missing this match, X match. Listen, Amorim's, yeah, I think Sunday was huge in a way because it was a must-win, really. Having lost that first match, and I didn't quite have the same optimism. Once again, the United fan base, it was like, you know, we won the popular vote or something from that first match. Well, yeah, but popular votes don't win your football matches. Goals do. And we're so toothless. We're so toothless. The Mbuemo erections after the first match were completely unwarranted. Didn't make any sense to me. I thought that he looked anxious on his debut. This is not me writing the Mbuemo career off at United after 2 matches, but I just thought it was Cunha in the first match who delivered on his debut. It was Cunha who was the threat. When Mbuemo got the ball, and he got him in some pretty good positions, I would say, in that first match, he fluffed his lines. I agree, Jake. I'm not quite done on Amorim yet, but yeah, that Europa League final was yeah. Ghosty, don't be curious about Tommy Paul Muller tomorrow. Tommy's winning as long as he's healthy. Muller on a hard court is just not a thing. And Diallo breaks back, by the way, against Jamur. So that is very much game on. There's Craig O'Shaughnessy, by the way. Occasional guest on the show. It's not quite Murta Tunga. 2-2 anyway, Diallo Jamur. I think we'll see a few histrionics from Jamur. That's my call. That's the only call I probably am going to make in terms of that match. Oh, Venus has missed that backhand. And she'd be expected to make that one more often than not. Love 30 on the Venus serve. Yeah. Elma away from clay is not really a thing. And even on clay in the last few months, went out early in Bonn. I'll remind you of that, of course. We all know that Bonn is the barometer. And he's just sort of had a few jitters every time he got close to the top 100. It's all about Tommy's fitness. If Tommy is 80% fit and manages to last the match, he wins in straights. Although Tommy does have a tendency to leak sets, but the Bonrometer, indeed, Ghosty. You know it. We all know it. The fifth slam. Djokovic, Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal never won Bonn, and it's a missing thing from their CV. Look at Jamil. I thought he was going to throw his racket there. He thought about it. He's on the edges, Jamil, right now. It's really interesting as well. When Jamil comes up against absolute top players like Alcaraz, he's not even close to losing his temper. That was so close to landing in, by the way. Oh, we just had a 13-shot rally in Williams-Mukova, and it's the longest rally of the match, which tells you just how aggressively both players have been playing, particularly Venus. I mean, just makes sense from her point of view. And Venus won this 13-shot rally as well, which is admirable. Yeah, you missed Sonmez, though, Jake, winning straight sets over Volynets. That was an entertaining match. I tell you what was also super entertaining. We got a backhand into the net from Williams and a break point from Mukova. I really enjoyed watching Fadia against Munar earlier. I missed the first couple of sets of that one, but sets 3 and 4 were a lot of fun. Fadia as well, I think he would have lost anyway, but I think he was suffering from a bit of dizziness towards the end of that match, which also affected him in a previous match in qualifying that he came through. But some really entertaining points. That's why I really enjoyed it, and a few twists and turns as well in sets 3 and 4. Slice here from Mukova. Williams comes into the net, and she's going to go long with that slice of her own, and Mukova breaks. So you better be quick, Jake, because it is 5-1 Mukova, and Karolina is going to serve for a place in the second round. And it's potentially Venus's last match as a singles player anyway at the US Open. We'll see. We will see. Okay, 15 love, Karolina Mukova. Jamur, by the way, looks like he's about to turn out for Brazil at the World Cup. Look at that outfit. I quite like it, but yeah. An FYI. Jake, not sure. Might do 1 year around about midnight, 1 o'clock myself, but there's actually not that many matches tomorrow that grab me either in terms of it's not like I'm beating down the door of the Talking Tennis team to say, can you do, Haddad Meyer Kartal, Dollarhide Wong, Arango Swiatek. We know how that's going to go. Parks and Andre. Well, that's coming up tonight. Parks Andreeva. Sorry. That's an intriguing one. That's probably about to start any moment, actually, on Louis Armstrong. Oh, we've got 3 match points here for Karolina Muchova. Let's see how this pans out. Muchova out wide, comes into the net for a swing volley, puts it away. Venus Williams is not able to get her racket on that. It's a clean winner to seal the deal for Muchova. Just a shake of the hand. That's a peculiar end of the match. Anyway, it is what it is, and Muchova is through, not without a few bumps. 6-3, 2-6, 6-1. You can see where those bumps were. Yeah, Williams had a great serving day, was playing very aggressively, went down an early break, was down 2-love, and then love 40 on her serve, and you really feared the worst. She managed to hold serve from that hole, then break Muchova, then have a break point on the Muchova serve, and who knows? She gets the break there, and maybe she sees out that first set, and we all saw how the second set goes or went. However, she wasn't able to take that break. Muchova held and then went on a run of her own to see out the first set, and you thought, okay, here we go. But then it's Williams who puts her foot down. She is now waving to the crowd, perhaps for the last time as a singles player. She hasn't announced any kind of guarantees for her retirement. She might not know, but I don't know. That wave for me feels like a goodbye. I just would have thought that she might well have said so before the tournament began, that she plans to retire if she's convinced that she is retiring. So, yeah. Or maybe she's coming back in a doubles form some point soon. Anyway, back to the match, yeah. Oh, she's just pausing here. And changing direction for whatever reason. But yeah, the second set, Venus was firing. She only hit 5 unforced errors in that second set, did Venus. And she was playing aggressively too, as she won it 6-2, serving bombs and hitting balls really early and really, taking the match into her own hands. However, she could not keep it going. And it was Muchova who put on the afterburners in the third set, sealing it by 6-1 and sealing her spot in the round of 64 in New York. I'm not sure how we feel about this in terms of Muchova, in terms of how she might end up doing at this tournament, in terms of going deep. I think there's a few concerns for her, especially we always know the main thing with Muchova is physically, but at least she is through to the next round. So that's that. The match did deliver. Yeah, I would say it did. Jake, I would say it did. We might just be able to get a few stats regarding this particular encounter before we bring this stream to a close, and to see exactly where it was won and lost. Double faults was a huge issue today for Venus. Interestingly, Muchova out-aced Venus. But there was so many unreturned serves, though, from Venus Williams that, probably skew that slightly, that Muchova was just getting her racket on, but not being able to get it back over the net with any purpose. But 7 aces from Karolina and 2 double faults. That's nice. And 10 double faults from Venus, as she took huge risks on those second serves, shortening the points as often as she possibly can. That makes sense. Muchova had her fair share of chances, as did Williams. Williams getting 3 from 7 and Muchova getting 5 from 12. Both hovering around just over 40% of break point conversion. Let's have a look at a few more stats as well. Yeah, it was a really good thing for Venus in that second set. She was getting over 70% of her first serves in the first set. But unfortunately, across the match, that drops to 57%. So there you go. Probably maybe a really significant gap there is just that 10% differential that you see, with 68% of first serves landing in for Karolina and 57.5 for Venus. That certainly gives Karolina a necessary advantage, because her serve isn't quite as potent, really, as Venus's, despite those ace statistics. And let's have a quick look at perhaps the least important stat of the day, which is overall points won. It's 85-71 for Carolina. I guess the way she raced away with that third set contributed to that. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today for this. I'm glad we just got another subscriber as well. Jake asking about a post-mortem for Volynets for Nerland's sake. Well, Sonmez's forehand was dynamic. She was the more aggressive player probably throughout. Not big style, more aggressive. The Volynets depth did cause Zeynep some problems at times, but that forehand fired more often than not. They did exchange lots of breaks, and although it was and I'm here to end the stream after a slight internet issue. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. And yeah, we'll catch up with you all again very, 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 very soon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.